episode, FG and we spoke about Reggie Wright speaking on the Mob James issue, and he was on Bomb First doing his live, and he said a couple of unsavory words about FG, but he immediately backpedaled.
I heard that shit, bro.
And said that FG was solid. But what really shocked me was a lot of people in my comments were saying that I'm trivial for even talking about this. So I just want to address this for a moment, man. Yes.
I want to just acknowledge the fact that although trivial is not the totality of our makeup, we not beyond or above delving into trivial or petty things when it's appropriate. So okay,
exactly.
So what? Yeah,
I think people expect me to always be on my scholarly tip, to always be on my journalism tip, to always be on my professional tip. But sometimes I want to talk about the petty stuff too.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh my mama, because guess what? When we go into the barbershop or we at the mechanic shop or we at the park, we round parents as a coaching situation. This is shit we talk about. Niggas don't talk about the deepest things that's on their heart when they casually converse. So while we chopping it up about what's current, I ain't got no problem with being petty from time to time.
And I didn't even think it was a petty topic because, I did a podcast with Reggie Wright Jr. for a damn near a year, and we had some great Gangster Chronicles. We had some great conversations, but there were some times Reggie Wright would say some crazy things.
You know what we got to realize about Reggie, because Reggie is a personal acquaintance of mine. I would damn near call him a friend. But the thing about Reggie is what people have to understand. There's a dynamic with Reggie that comes with people that doesn't come with nobody else. Reggie is an official ex-police. He also is a sergeant at arms, strong arm for one of the most gangster rap labels that was ever known. And then post that, he has also become a ex-con that went to federal prison.
Damn, you just did his whole resume.
Yeah. Reggie is a colorful person, bro. So whether you like everything you know about him, if you find things to disagree with him on, it's not hard to believe that, because Reggie has lived on so many spectrums of our reality. The fact that he still has any level of respect from the streets and people is admirable, because Cuz used to be the police.
Yeah.
So if you could balance that and then end up allegedly indicted for, interstate trafficking of illegal substances 20 years later, I got to tip my hat to your total experience, regardless of every little thing I've seen you go through. But yeah.
Yes, well, I didn't think it was a big deal that, in fact, FG is the one that told me about it. I didn't even know. He played it for me, and I said, hey, let's talk about it. We'll talk about it. So we talked about it, and, there's been quite a few people saying that it's petty, but I think it's actually serious, in these streets when you get to name calling certain people, and not really, I don't want to focus on Reggie so much, but just in general, you've had a couple of some serious public debates, beefs, conflicts with people. I mean, at certain times, these words are they affect you, they impact you, because then it makes you respond, and then it can get heated.
Indeed, and I want to let also, we're gonna get off Reggie, but I also often tease Reggie with the fact that police, all that, regardless, Reggie represents himself as a pyro. He don't want to admit it. He don't want to claim it. But his affiliation, his experiences, and all the shit that he went through that was on the side of gangsterism, he was family with the pyros. And a lot of time when he presents himself in the public, it comes across as if he's representing that car. But for him, and this is the conversations I have with Reggie when nobody's listening, so I'm comfortable discussing this on a public platform. We bounce off one another, and iron sharpens iron. And just based on Reggie's whole experience, I often advise him to do the best he can to get himself out of these gangster conversations online. So when Reggie, for whatever reason, feel comfortable calling FG for me, full general. When he call himself calling FG a bitch, you got to respect him for retracting his statement so quickly. But I don't know as an individual if I could accept that retractment. That I don't know. We might have to go through something else, because now, Reggie, you stepped on the other line of respect. So I think it can be worked out by men without it going to something physical. But I could also understand if FG was looking for us to go through another process other than just saying, my bad.
Well, obviously FG was didn't like it, because he brought it to my attention and was like, why is this dude speaking like this? But let me also say,
do they know each other?
they never actually. No, they really don't know each other, even though they've been in the same spaces for years. You know, they all know the same people. They all grew up with the same people. FG's a little bit younger, but they all know the same circle. But Reggie Wright actually texted me after our episode dropped last Thursday, and he said he was going to issue a public apology. So does that change it for you? That not only did Reggie immediately retract the negative term, but he's willing to issue a public apology.
Yep. You know, that would do it.
That should end it, right?
I'm not bigger than that.
Yeah.
I'm not, because what else can you ask? Unless you're trying to charge a nigga and, we're not going to go there. So you did something publicly that kind of adversely affected the way people perceive me, and I didn't deserve it. If you're man enough to go out your way to correct it, I can accept that. Definitely.
And the reason why I don't really think it's trivial because the topic at hand is a very serious one. This dude FG did 10 years in the feds because another Pyru told on him. I don't think that could ever be taken as a trivial matter. I know people keep telling me why I keep talking about it, but hey, he keeps talking about it.
Look, I salute you because you don't overrepresent yourself as anything other than who you are. And yet and still, when it comes to principles, and we know that you're very familiar with the law, nigga, you still stand on the integrity of that's foul. I don't understand how not only Reggie Wright is not willing to acknowledge that and stand firm on it, but Black Jesus, Timmy Rowe, cuz I don't get it. I don't get it, bro. I didn't mean to bleed these conversations into two, and I'm going to correct myself because I forgot we wasn't talking about that. But hey, Timmy, what it do, my nigga? Holla at your boy, man. You out here all bad with your little representation of that kid, boy. But yeah, get back on track, Alex. My bad.
Yeah, well, I was just saying that it's even though some people think talking about this was a trivial thing, what Reggie said about FG, but it's all rooted in something that was very serious. You know, a brother got set up, a brother got a wire war on him for just a measly a few ounces of cocaine. I don't think anyone deserves, not only does
Reggie got to put some respect on the situation. Do you know when he called his case, are you familiar whether or not he was told on?
Who, FG?
No, Reggie.
If I don't know the specifics of his weed case. Nah.
I'm gonna tell you how real it is with Reggie and me. I remember talking to Reggie for the first time in a long time, and then shortly thereafter, I received a letter in the mail saying from the San Bernardino Sheriff Department letting me know between this date and that date, we either were monitoring your phone or you had a conversation with somebody's phone that we were monitoring. And I was so shocked to receive this letter. And when I went through my mind about the people that I spoke to in the last 30 days, whatever the time frame the letter carried, I took a screenshot of it and sent it to Reggie. So for me to know that Reggie is on the side of the game of life, that he deserves that type of head up, and we understand that, I don't see why he's comfortable being in the public saying that if Mob James is confirmed wearing a wire, why he would disassociate himself from calling Cuz foul and saying that's between them two niggas. That's boo-boo, Reggie. You can't stand on both sides, nigga. You been to prison. You know what it feel like to be. Niggas already giving you a pass for being on the team that sent niggas to jail. You don't get judged like the average nigga by that because of your association with Suge and what you ended up getting into later. So real niggas give you a pass for that. Now that you on the opposite side of the law, nigga, you can't keep moving the goalposts for niggas that cooperated. You know what that shit mean better than everybody. That's why I don't understand why you so supportive of Back, nigga. You know Back ain't no good. Go ahead. I'll take this shit somewhere else, Alex. You know Back ain't no good. That's why he got his backside up to the world right now, twinkling his toes, twerking in the bed, face down, ass up. That was one I couldn't pass up. Go ahead, man.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the next topic, but I just want people to know that I don't talk about celebrity gossip. There's a lot of stuff I do not talk about, but I don't feel like this issue is something that doesn't deserve a brief 15, I don't know how many minutes FG and I spent on it, 15, 20 minutes talking about it. I mean, it affected FG's life. It affected his kids. It affected his family, his wife.
If you look at Gene Deal and you look at how he'll commit himself, look at Reggie Bomb first. He's created a whole platform off of one subject matter, one group. FG, man, if you got to speak about it 15 more times, bro, my ears wide open. On my mama. I know how bad that make a nigga feel.
Look,
Oh God,
I was
been told on. Go ahead.
I was willing to stop talking about it. Actually, Reggie and I had a conversation. He was like, "Can we agree to stop talking about it?" Mob James was on the phone. I actually spoke to Mob James since we talked about it. He feels a little bad that I did the interview with FG because Mob James and I were friends. But I told him at the time I never knew this about you, and
Me either.
and I had to tell the story. He wanted me to bury a story that I felt was newsworthy. So I told the story, and I guess Mob James hates me because I did the interview with FG. Look, if FG didn't do the interview with me, he would have eventually did the interview with somebody else. It would have came out. So, but it was me, and I had no problem doing it because I wanted to give him a platform to tell the story, but I agreed not to talk about it anymore. But then here they go, Reggie talking about it the other day on Bomb First. So hey,
Man, I'm gonna just say this: you have an obligation for how you establish yourself to cover every subject that's relevant to you, unbiasedly. You've made it your MO to just be neutral. When these many facts come across, and this is your circle of peers, can't nobody look at you foul for like observing, acknowledging, and what else is Alex Alonso gonna do? What else? Like, you fucked with dude. You are involved with analyzing these type of situations on a regular basis. He's a compadre. And now you come across this information. Guess what? I wouldn't even be comfortable sitting across from you right now had you handled it different and tried to bury it and act like it's cool.
Hey,
We couldn't even be as cool as we are,
Yeah.
bro. I would be have to faking to tolerate this moment.
it would make me look a certain kind of way if people say, "Damn, you knew all along and you was hiding this." You know,
I'm gonna be the first to say, cause without me knowing that, and without me ever meeting Mob James, the only thing I was familiar with was a few interviews that I saw him do. I knew his name. I knew both of his brothers. And when he used to do interviews about his general perspective on the whole death row experience, Suge Knight, Tupac, I didn't know him, but I used to always appreciate saying, damn, that's the same exact story I know. He keeping it real. So when I finally got the opportunity through the Gangster Chronicles to meet Mob James, I ain't gonna lie, I appreciated that. And even through knowing him, I caught the story about when he brought the burner. I laughed. That was goofy to me. But outside of that, we politicked. We did a few episodes. I appreciated the man that he met. However, when I saw it presented that he cooperated and participated, all that went out the window.
yeah.
I don't give a fuck about him no more. Like, I hate the fact that that's Timmy Rue brother, but then when Timmy Rue joined the same club, it's like, damn, Timmy Rue. I don't know what to say, bro.
Yeah.
We don't talk to police. Simple.
Well, you know, I wish bro all the best. I had a great relationship with Mob James. We was cool. We did some great episodes, and you know, I personally
cooperated and got FG stretched out.
Yeah.
I wish him all the worst.
Well, nah, man. You know, that was 20 years ago, and you know, I'm sure he's a different man today.
Yep, but guess what? All the experiences and time that FG went through, he can't replace, replicate. It don't matter how long ago it was. They're just as real as they were when he lost them as they are now. My energy would never change toward the person who fucked the game and cooperated and aided in him getting that time.
Well, I look at it as just like any sin, a sin can be forgiven.
We finna get biblical, y'all.
Yeah. I believe I don't approve of anything that he did, but I think at some point in time, a brother does deserve forgiveness. But you have to admit what you did before you could be forgiven for it. And he has yet to admit what he did.
Do you think that forgiveness, just by definition, includes total restoration to whatever it was prior?
If you got the means, let's say Mob James was a multimillionaire, he would have to break FG off for those 10 years. For him not being with his kids, for a couple of his kids joining the gang, he wasn't there to stop it. When he got out, he was able to stop his younger ones from joining. His younger kids ain't in the gang. His older kids did join the gang. That's Mob James' fault. You know, the father wasn't there to do what he would normally do. So that requires some compensation and forgiveness. And then I would say to FG, hey, he did everything he could do. Let's move on from it. You know.
So tell me this. And this is totally hypothetical, y'all. if we all agreed that was cool and they shook hands on that, and Mob James met all those requirements, broke bread, we shook hands. If Mob James hit the corner and didn't survive that evening, would FG be wrong? Hey, no. There's no forgiveness for certain things, bro. Certain shit we gonna have to holler at after we wake up.
So you put that in the category of no forgiveness.
What? That's like you raped my mama.
But look, Jesus would forgive a murderer, and murder is worse than snitching.
And the main thing about the whole concept of Jesus is there's only one. There's never been another. There will never be another. He did it perfectly because we can't. So you try to make yourself think that you are obligated to mimic what we've learned about Jesus. You're already tricking yourself into thinking that you can fuck every female you fuck like every porn you watch. It's not gonna happen. There's no such thing in our realm as replicating what we know about Jesus.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen.
Okay. Well, let's agree to disagree. I believe it could be forgiven. Spider, give me another unforgivable act. Thanks for checking out this short clip of the Streets and Scholars podcast with Alex, Alonso, and FG. If you want to check out the entire episode, visit your favorite podcast platform. We could be found on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, and iHeart. Just tap in on your cell phone, tablet, computer, or your favorite device, and guaranteed to get at least an hour of this fire content. And thanks for checking out another episode of Streets and Scholars.